What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 90 on Peachtree. My name is Corey Knapp. We got a lot to talk about this week. First and foremost, we're going to take a look at some takeaways from the win over LAFC over the weekend. Secondly, we're going to talk about the insert result here from last night. Thirdly, we're going to talk about, obviously, Atlanta United hiring its new manager, Gonzalo Pineda, as well as the arrival and potential debut from last night as well, certainly this weekend, of Brazilian midfielder and forward Luiz Araùjo. So let's get into it. So first off, going back to last weekend, obviously a great win over LAFC, 1-0. Atlanta didn't dominate by any means, but a great goal from Josef, his first at the Bend since his injury, and we've heard a lot throughout the rest of the weekend and the week how meaningful it was to him and how close he was to thinking he might never play again given the complications with his injuries, and you could see in his celebrations in the moment as well as afterward how much it meant to him. But the win overall signified and meant something much more and much greater for Atlanta United. So the overall team performance on Sunday, as well as the goal, especially how the goal was scored on Sunday, showed us one important thing about Atlanta United that's a welcome return to some of the top days of the club, is that once again, teams have to be perfect for 90 minutes against Atlanta United defensively. And that goes especially for games at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. LAFC really didn't play bad. I mean, they missed a ton of chances on offense, but really they were pretty sound in the midfield and defensively, and they made one mistake, and Barco and Josef and Marcelino Moreno made them pay for it. It was a quick ball, lofted over the top of the back line, a misplay from the defender, Barco's in, gets it over to Josef, and it's a goal. And that's the kind of thing that we haven't seen from Atlanta United in a very long time, is taking that one mistake that a team makes over the course of the game and capitalizing on it and making them pay for it. So teams are going to have to start remembering you can no longer let your guard down for any moment against Atlanta United. And that's what was so fun and dangerous about the 2017 team, the 2018 team, is no matter the score, no matter the time, teams knew, fans knew, both teams really knew, that if a team made a mistake, Atlanta United was going to pounce on it, and in all likelihood it was going to result in a goal. And that is something that has not been there for Atlanta United the last 2 years for a number of reasons, but that was an important takeaway from the one goal on Sunday against LAFC. And that goes back to what I've talked about, what a lot of people who cover the team talk about, is Atlanta United had an identity with Tata, and they've been kind of chasing it the last couple of years. But this is their identity, is that teams come in, and especially when they come into the Bends, they know they have to be perfect. They know they can't make any mistakes defensively, they can't give the ball away in dangerous areas, or Atlanta United's going to make them pay. And that's a lot of pressure and a lot of burden to play with for opposing teams, and they really haven't had to do that the last couple of years, but we're seeing since Rob Valentino came back, since Rob Valentino became the interim head coach, and since Josef came back, we're really seeing the team capitalize on those mistakes and press and put that pressure on the other team, and we're seeing the other teams feel it a bit. I mean, they haven't been great on the road their entire existence, but they really felt that pressure, and they played one bad ball to start the half, and it was shaky, and Atlanta United took advantage. And now teams are going to know, all right, we cannot make any single mistakes against Atlanta United because Josef is coming into form, Barco's coming into form, Moreno has been awesome since Valentino took over, and that's what you want your identity to be if you're Atlanta, and that's what they're getting back to these last couple of games, what we know and love to see from the team. Now, we said last week, 1 win is an accident, 2 is a trend, 3 is a streak. Now, they played last night. Again, I record on Wednesday. Game hasn't happened yet. It's going to happen. Let's say Atlanta United won last night. Let's say they've won 3 in a row. Rob Valentino closes out his interim coach run with another win. And so, there we go. 3-game winning streak. If they didn't win, skip through this part. And so now moving forward, we can talk about Atlanta United's coaching hire, Gonzalo Pineda from the Seattle Sounders, former Mexico international. He played in the World Cup in 2006 with the Mexican national team, played in all 4 of their matches during that tournament. And so we're really going to start to get a look at what kind of manager he is and what he's going to bring to the team. Today is his first training session. He'll lead with the team, and this weekend will be the first match he is in charge of and he's on the sideline for. And this will be his first time as a head coach, which will likely bring some ups and downs as he learns on the fly, and I think that's something that the team's front office, the players, the fans, and the media all need to remember and consider when making evaluations of him, especially early on, is that he's been an assistant for most, if not all, of his coaching career, and this is really his first foray into being the head man in charge. But it obviously certainly seems like he's extremely well regarded throughout MLS. He's been to 3 MLS Cup final appearances with Seattle as an assistant coach. They won the title in 2019. He's been well regarded by former teammates, by fellow assistant coaches, by fellow coaches. And he really seems like he's going to bring a great mix of player relationships and player connection, as well as incorporating different data and analytics into how he runs the team as well. And like we talked about a couple weeks ago, this is the make-or-break move for Darren Eales and Carlos Bocanegra in their run in charge of Atlanta United. Obviously, Tata was a home run, but they've missed on the last 2 coaches. They've missed on several players. And now, basically, it's all the chips are in on Pineda. And it's really a departure from what they've tried to do in the past, and I think that's a good thing. It's a much-needed departure from their preference to go with their coaching hires to have a big name, to make a big splash. Pineda by no means is flashy. I mean, he's been a very solid player for Mexico and a very good up-and-coming coach with the Sounders, but he doesn't have nearly the international pedigree that Tata did, that De Boer did, or that Heinze did, and I think that's a good thing. He brings with him just a good sense and a good level of stability. He's going to just get results. He's going to go in every day. The team is going to enjoy him, hopefully, and respond to him, and he's going to let them do their thing, and there's going to be a good balance of him doing what he wants to do and having the team kind of emphasize the style that he wants to play, as well as him bending a little bit to what the players want and how the players like to operate, and finding that nice little happy medium. And before we totally move into the Pineda era, let's give it up one more time for Rob Valentino. Awesome, awesome job as the interim head coach for Atlanta United. I mean, he really steadied the ship. He brought the players back together again. It's going to be great to continue to have him with the team and on Pineda's staff. I think that's a big move to keep him around, and certainly the players. It wouldn't have been a great start with the players if they sent Valentino packing. So, Rob Valentino, thank you for steadying the ship and bringing the swagger back.
I think I got my swagger back. Oh.
And lastly, what's going to be Pineda's first challenge as Atlanta United manager is where to fit in new Brazilian signing Luiz Araùjo. I mean, Josef, Barco, and Moreno have been playing great the last several matches and have really formed a good rapport, a good rhythm. They're all increasing their level collectively. And so Pineda's challenge will be to insert Araùjo in some way in that without disrupting that rhythm, but while allowing Araùjo to be himself and to make his impact and complement and add to what those 3 guys are already doing, and not kind of disrupt that rhythm and disrupt that flow. And that's going to be a bit of a delicate balance. Probably the first couple matches and training sessions as they get acclimated to each other, but that's part of the process, and we'll definitely see right away what Pineda's made of and how he thinks tactically, because again, it's his first head coaching run. We don't know what kind of system he wants to run. We get a feel that it's within the Atlanta United way of attack, but we don't quite know how he's going to do that yet. And the first piece of that puzzle, the first chess move in that regard, is going to be how he utilizes Araùjo. And we may have seen Araujo's debut last night. We may see it this weekend, but it's definitely coming soon. And it's something that I think all Atlanta United fans can be excited about. And to close it all out this week, let's make the note that Atlanta United plays 9 of its next 13 matches at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So after the last couple weeks where they've played a lot better, Valentino has them scoring goals again, having fun again, winning games again. They really have a chance now to take advantage of their schedule and make that move up the standings, play well at home, secure those 3 points at home, night in and night out and week in and week out, and we could see kind of one of those patented 2017 runs where it's just W after W after W at home, and really, like we talked about at the beginning of the show, making Mercedes-Benz Stadium a place where opponents do not want to come and they do not want to play because they know they have to be on their A game for the entire 90-plus minutes, and if they're not, then they're going to pay. So that does it for this week, everybody. Be sure to subscribe to Atlanta Sports Unlimited on our YouTube channel below. Follow me and Atlanta Sports Unlimited on Twitter. You can see our handles there on the screen. And be sure to come back next week for more Atlanta United talk, and we may even be talking about a 4-game winning streak. Who knows? Or maybe 1, depending on what happened last night. Let's say we're going to be talking about a 4-game winning streak. Anyway, I'm Corey Knapp. We'll see you guys next week on 90 on Peachtree.